are back for another trading week. So I am just kind of going through the motions and putting the levels on a little bit ahead of time, and that's just in an effort to keep the video as short as I can, as informative but as short as possible. So let's just jump into it. I'm actually going to be doing US30 this time around. So let's get started. We'll start with AUD, and just as a reminder, I did keep some of the levels that I had on here previously, so we're going to kind of rock with those. And I'll be using more of the 4 hour, 1 hour. I'll only jump out to like the daily and the weekly just to get the overall view, but I plan on trading or using more of the 1 hour, 4 hour, 30-minute to do my entries and so on and so forth for this upcoming week. So I did keep AUD. Actually, I kept my chart on here as to my profit, my risk and profit, just because I was able to profit a little bit from AUD this week, or excuse me, last week. Rather, if you had watched my last video from last week's forecast, I was able to actually profit a little bit. So I wanted to kind of keep on this same track when it comes down to AUD. Now we are kind of consolidating a bit, but I feel as though with both the EMA, the high and the low EMA above price, and again, we are just simply looking at a 1 hour. We could scroll out to the daily and kind of get a slightly more bird's eye. Let's see. I feel like even on the daily, I'm still feeling like I'm getting that confirmation. Now, maybe we will see some consolidation up in this section right here. It's possible, but ultimately I do see price getting to here. Now, will price continue down once it gets there? I'm not 100% sure. I see that it could potentially get down there, and then maybe we'll see a reversal, or maybe we'll see a reversal right where we are. So again, probability game. So what I'm mainly looking at, though, is just what is going to be happening in that 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute time frame, just to get some profit in, rather than waiting a little bit longer than I normally would. Because I used to wait for a long time. I'd hold my trades for like a week, 2 weeks. I think I held a trade for about a month, but that one had some pretty decent profit in it. So it just kind of depends on your account size and kind of what your goal is as to what you're wanting to achieve and the balance that you're looking to have in your account. So for me, I am actually going to go with the smaller time frames, just because I'm wanting to see a little bit more of a profit and see if this is something that I can get to start profiting on every single day, every single week, so that therefore I can get an idea of what I will be making for the month and essentially can quit my 9 to 5, and that way I can trade full time. So with that being said, and again in an effort to keep the video kind of short, right now I feel like price could be holding below this level right here. So what I'm doing is simply just watching. Best place to probably place the stop loss is going to probably be a little bit above, just to give it a little more room. You do not want to put yourself in a position, or continuously put yourself in a position, where you are not giving your trade enough room to move, and then it goes in, it stops you out, and then continues back down exactly how you thought it was, or you had done your research to find that it's going to do. So this is kind of my bias. I think it's pretty simple, pretty plain, as to what's going to happen, or what direction I feel like it's going to happen with when it comes down to AU this week. I do still see a bearish direction. I'll jump over to my other computer, and it looks like we do have some news, nothing too crazy. Red folders, we have Monday, tentative, our Japanese yen. Nothing on Tuesday. Wednesday looks like we have CAD, and US does have the consumer confidence news coming out in the morning. Nothing on Thursday, and then it looks like a little more news again on Friday for the CAD and for the core PCE for US. So that's what we're looking at when it comes down to news. That's just something to keep in mind, especially since we're trading a pair that has US in it. So there is that for AU. Let's scoot over to EU. and see what EU is doing for the week. I wanted to kind of leave it blank because I don't know if it's helpful if I draw on what I feel like I'm seeing for the week. So actually, let's get out to the daily real quick and see what the daily is looking like. So because the daily hasn't really gotten past this lower high, and we're kind of holding right here. If you guys can see, I'm gonna get in here a little bit tighter so you can see. If you can notice, we're holding right here in this area. Looks like we are holding big time right here. So with that being said, and us kind of holding below, let's get out and see what this one is looking like real quick. See what the daily looks like. Because often, I'm going to remove this just so we can see a little bit better. Often when you are able to confirm the same direction, the same look, prices moving the same on a higher time frame and a lower time frame, you can use that as one of your confluences, one of your confirmations. So even on the weekly, this is looking really bearish. So in my personal opinion, this is what I'm going to do, what my setup is going to look like when I see the right opportunity to get in on a short here. This is something like it'll look like. I'll be holding this. Let's see. We'll probably come down to this next level. Let's consolidate and squeeze it up a little bit. I would even want to say, let's even go to here. And when I go or I'm moving my risk to reward ratio around, I'm just looking at past price, seeing where past price was, and then just kind of stopping right there. Potentially, could we see it get lower? Let's see. Yeah, we could. But I want to see price get to here first, so maybe set it up to get there, and then once I start to see price get to here, I'll then move my stop probably to about here, to be honest. Now this is going to take some time to either there or to there, but in the meantime, while we're kind of just going through the motions and waiting for price to kind of make its move, this is something like what I would like to see. This is a, looks like 7 to 1 risk to reward, so that's pretty good. That's pretty doggone good, actually. So this will be the setup that I'm looking for. Now I will be keeping an eye to see what this EMA is going to do, as well as possibly using my Hakanashi to help me kind of guide me through exactly what I need to be doing for the week. But this is the setup that I'll be looking at for EU. Let's go to oh my God, let's go to USD JPY. Let me switch back over to black. And I still have a Fibonacci on here from last week. So let's see if it did us any justice. It looks like we haven't really got down to this level yet. So maybe not. I'm going to remove some of this stuff just so that it's not so confusing and the chart is a little more clear for you to understand. A clean chart is a happy chart. You don't want to clutter it up. So I'm even going to remove this guy because that's just doing too damn much. Okay, so let's see what we got going on. Let's actually get out to the weekly. Get some clarity here. All right. I'm gonna move this and let's see what we got. So based on the weekly, honestly, granted the weekly is so far out, I feel like we could see something like this for a little while. Could I be wrong? Of course I could be wrong. Let's see. We're gonna go to the daily and see what the daily is giving. Okay, so let's scoot down here and see what's going on. Okay, so right now, I'm still seeing consolidation. In order for me to decide that I want to make or open a position on UJ, I would need to see a break and a close above this level or below this level in order for me to get in. Otherwise, I'm not doing shit. I'm just going to be waiting for this consolidation to play out, especially with this being so close to the EMA. It's a strong possibility that we could see a break to the upside, but we'll just have to wait to see kind of what happens. But honestly, I'd be just simply looking for that. I'd be looking for that break and that confirmation off of that break. Otherwise, I won't be doing anything. So some people will just do it as levels. Some people won't do it as levels. Another way to keep an eye and to remember so if you're putting levels on your charts and then you're kind of forgetting what you're supposed to be remembering, example or prime example, I'm going to use this as an example. So if you don't know, sometimes I know, like life be life, and so you'll jump into the chart and then forget why are my levels there? Like, what am I doing here? What's supposed to be happening when you actually did your forecast already for the week, and then you're confusing yourself. So if you want to just put a box around the consolidation, that way, when that joint goes to break out, you know exactly what's happening. So this is a nice way to keep your eye on your consolidation on any chart that you're using. That way, when it does go to break out, you're like, okay, I know what's going on. I know what I need to do next. So that's just a helpful way to keep an eye on your consolidation. Nothing going to happen on UJ as of right now. Let's jump to GBP USD and see what's going on. I'm going to jump out real quick to the weekly just to get a bird's eye. I swear, me and this mouse are going to fight. Whatever. It's fine. So let me take this dude off, and then let's see what we got going on. So we're actually kind of at a level right now. I am going to grab a little box, even though we're on the weekly, and I'm going to place it right about here. And you don't want to make it too big, especially on the weekly, because if you make it super big on the weekly, it's going to be crazy big on the 4 hour, 1 hour. Okay, so let's see. Let's go down to the daily and see what's going on. Squeeze it up, consolidate your charts so you can see a little bit further back as well. All right, so right now we are still kind of at this level a little bit. I'm wanting to see if it's going to use the EMA as support. I'm looking forward to use this bottom lower where price is the lowest at that space, to see if it's going to use that as a support. It looks pretty good. Not 100% sure, because after it uses this as support, it then has to come through and break through here. So I'm going to either need to see a break below here. I'm going to use this, what is this, the high or the low? This is the low. I'm going to use the low as support and wait to see if price gets below support. So I'm waiting for a breakout and a close below the support that we're going to use for the EMA, or a break above and a close above. So again, not going to do anything with this just yet. Not sure if it's in the consolidation space. It could possibly be, but until I can see a clear direction on where price is going, I'm not going to do anything with this one either. So let's jump down to the 4 hour real quick and see. So even looking at it right now, it's sitting at a level where price is kind of touched, even over here. So price is touched, price is touched, price is touched, price is touched 1, 2, 3, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in this particular area. So in just this area alone, I want to see what's going to happen. I'm also seeing, what am I grabbing? What am I doing? I'm doing this, yes. I'm also seeing lower low, lower high, lower low, or yes, lower, oh my gosh, I'm probably saying this completely wrong. Lower high, higher low, sorry. Higher high, let me grab my guy here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, potential higher low. We're going to see, because it looks like price might be getting kind of exhausted right there too. So again, we're just going to be waiting to see. I am going to be waiting to see. You can do whatever you'd like. I'm going to be waiting to see what price does when it gets here. And then I'll be moving forward to see from here, because it looks like price is exhausting because it's starting to hold in this area now, maybe possibly going sideways. And then from there, I will decide if I'm going to be getting in any kind of position. So that's GU. Let's look at US30 real quick. Okay, so on US30, let's start with a daily to get the bird's eye. So US30 is actually looking pretty good. Not bad. I personally, let me do this, maybe looking for a retest, and maybe that was the retest right here. I'm looking at it kind of coming down, coming back up, and then maybe heading back down again. So let me make that a little bit bigger just so it's a little more visible. So even though we didn't quite get to that level, that could potentially be our retest right there. And then we could potentially see price heading down. So let me, what do I want to do? Let me see. Scoot this over. I mean, price is in a good place. It looks like it's going to continue down, honestly. Now, you're probably going to see a little bit of consolidation because I can see price touching. This is a level also, so we can even pull this guy over just so that it makes sense. Oops. We could potentially see a little more consolidation right here and make sure that price closes here. Now, granted, there's still some space in between here in this level, so you could definitely get in for a bearish position and profit off of this until it gets down there. But let's actually go down to the 1 hour and see what's going on. Okay. So yeah, I mean, from here it looks like you could potentially get in on a very short position and collect a couple of these pips, but it does look like price is starting to kind of get exhausted, especially being that this was the major candle that kind of ended. This is where price closed at on Friday. So sometimes price does not always get up to the level to finish out the retest. And sometimes you just miss those trades, and that's okay. The market is always going to be here. You'll always be able to make other decisions and get you some money another way and get the bag. So as of right now, what I would do, I don't really trade. I shouldn't say really. I don't trade US30 as of right now. But if I were trading US30, I would probably wait, because this does not look like a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 at least. Risk to reward, and I only do 1 to 2. That's like my minimum. I'm not going to do a 1-to-1. That's silly to risk money, you know, to risk $10 to get $10, you know what I mean? So I probably wouldn't take this trade in case it goes against you, and then you just wasted your money on a silly trade that didn't have a large enough payout for you. But on this note, I would probably wait to see what price is going to do, wait till it gets to this level, and then decide from here on how it's looking, whether I'm going to short the market or go long for a longer position back up to this level. So cutting it at that time. I hope that this was helpful. Please leave me a comment if it was helpful for you, and if there's anything that you want me to go over in the future. I hope you guys have a great trading week. Get after it.